going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the NBA Slate Starter podcast. I'm Eric, joined with my buddy Ryan as we break down Thursday's 5-game NBA DFS slate on DraftKings, FanDuel, and our sponsor, Yahoo. That was perfect timing. We landed the landing, or stuck the landing, whatever. I don't care. I'm on absolute Joe Ingles tilt. It was horrendous. So, my day, just going to play it out for everybody, did an NFL show this morning. I'm so fortunate because I get to cover a bunch of sports. I love watching sports in general. I get to cover everything here at Awesemo, but did an NFL show this morning, did an NBA show this afternoon, and then have PGA Live before lock, which showed back up in my life here the last 2 weeks. And so I'm on this show on PGA, and we get news that Pascal is not starting. So Eric Pascal gets taken off the table, and Joe Ingles is starting, and Royce O'Neal's at the 5, and Bogdanovich, and I was like, oh my God, I had already kind of had a minimum of 2 Jazz players. I took a risk. Day'Ron Sharpe, I think, is going to work out pretty well for me here. We talked about him last night. Day'Ron Sharpe. I didn't find that fun, but I don't find Joe Ingles fun whatsoever. I have way too much of this idiot and not nearly as much Pascal as I had before. But Ryan, hopefully you can cheer me up. How's your night going?
I'm not sure how I'll end up. It's this late night hammer, Lakers Kings game. Have some investment on FanDuel, not as much on DK. I just don't have enough Tatum. I don't have enough. I had quite a bit of Gordon Hayward, tons of LaMelo Ball, which burned a lot of it, which is unfortunate. DeJounte Murray is I was with the field there, but Kyle Kuzma puts on another amazing performance, misses out on a triple-double. He was great. Cole Anthony was great in that game as well. Tyler Hero, if you had those guys, you're winning everything. But in terms of value, it was interesting. A lot of people were on Norvell Pell going in. I was hoping he played. I didn't think he was the greatest play. I would have rather pivoted to Sharpe later at night, much lower ownership, but it didn't matter. Norvell Pell didn't play. Neither did Daniel House. So luckily I fell on a lot of Eric Pascal, and that might work out. It was a 9-game slate, so it was a frenzy as usual, but just not having also seeing Robin Lopez just smash a 4K price tag was disappointing because I did not have all that much of him, but hopefully the ones that I have might work out. There's a lot of the slate still left. Amazing studs who can put up 70, 80 fantasy points. So we'll see.
Yeah, Christian Wood is starting to finish pretty strong. He's at 40 fantasy points. There's 4 minutes left in that game. You, all listening to us, will know exactly how he finished up. But I got to say, for his price tags around the industry today, 7K over on FanDuel, 6,900 over on DK. Those both were going to make a lot of sense. Probably going to be a strong play here. Pascal's up to nearly 25 fantasy points. He was 3,400 on DK. He was 4,200 on FanDuel. That one's the one that really burns because I ended up on way more Ingles than I would have wanted to because he ends up starting. He ends up playing out of the middle of nowhere. That was the absolute disaster for me. But we all have stuff like this that happens. I will say Spencer Dinwiddie was even higher owned than I anticipated him being. He was problematic here. DeJounte Murray's up to 52. He ended up way more popular. And I know we both have a little bit of him here, but I don't have 50% or something. So we'll see how this entire evening kind of pans out for us as we're talking through it. It is 10:46 out on the East Coast. It is 7:46 out here on the West Coast. We're going to fly through this. So smash that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. All of that goes a long way for us here on YouTube. And if you're listening to us on Spotify, they now can have 5-star reviews. Leave some of those. I promise free rolls. I'm just going to promise it again. It's coming up very, very soon. So stay tuned. And then if you're listening to us on Apple, that's always been available to leave a 5-star review. But man, would we be honored if you would leave that for us. We would appreciate that so much. Ryan, we got 5 games to talk about on this Thursday. A lot of studs to pay up for across the board. You ready to get into this, my friend?
Let's do it.
What?
Let's do it. Caught you off guard there. Let's ride.
I'm always listening. Contrary to what Greg Ehrenberg thinks on Live Before Locks, I am always listening. It's one of my great attributes in life. Don't ask my wife that. Steph Curry, 11,200 there. James Harden, 10,700. I got to be assuming him or Kyrie are going to sit at the spot. This just seems weird, but I assume Kyrie, you just want him to play as many of these games as humanly possible while he's on the road. So maybe you get James Harden sitting here. They were both questionable coming into today. It's a back-to-back. Maybe Kevin Durant sits. I don't know. But as long as the 3 studs are there, you can take your shots on him. Good luck figuring out which guy is going to be the one long-term that you're going to want right now. It's usually, for me, I just always say the cheapest one. That's Kyrie Irving here, 9,300, the next guy down there. But our boy John Morant, he's all grown up, all he does is look awesome on basketball floors. He scores lots of fantasy points, 37 minutes, 50 burger there against Golden State in a tougher spot. Now he's up to 9,200 from the 8,900. But against Minnesota, this game should move. And Brandon Ingram, 8,900 right below him. I still love both of those guys. I know they seem expensive, especially when you have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander waiting in the wings at $8K, which is too low for Shai. But you can't say it enough. John Morant and Brandon Ingram confirmed have ceilings. Talk to me about the top end of point guard and shooting guard.
Yeah, so James Harden's there, 10-7. We'll see what happens with him. He's in a game right now. We'll see what it's a back-to-back, Brooklyn team playing an OKC team. They could honestly sit both Harden and KD, and Kyrie could just run the show. We'll see what ends up happening. I'm not too sure it's a back-to-back. John Morant continues to have jaw-dropping plays at 9,200. That is definitely in play. He's the show. He's the show of the NBA right now. He's been running it as well. $9,200 makes a lot of sense to go there. Steph Curry in a Milwaukee matchup with everyone back. Klay taking about 16, 17 shots now per game. Expect that price tag to drop in the near future. It's a little too expensive right now, but look, he still has ceiling to be the highest scoring player in the slate as he was the other night. Brandon Ingram, 8,900. Hit that 50 spot. We've been chasing it for some time. It was nice to see that happen. SGA and the other side of that Brooklyn matchup. AK is fine. I think I'd rather take my chances on Anthony Edwards at 8,100. I just think I just like that. I like Anthony Edwards. He started in the first half at 8 fantasy points, but still finished the game with, I want to say, high 30s. So it's always nice to see Anthony Edwards shoot himself back into fantasy relevance. I prefer him to D'Angelo Russell at 7,900, but going down the list here, Anthony Simons is out tomorrow. I expect him to miss the next 2 games. Unfortunately, his grandfather passed away, so he's down in Florida. And we got word Damian Lillard will be out for the extended period of time with the abdominal surgery.
You called that, by the way. Shout out Rayen Patnaik, reader of futures. You're going to just be from now on the crystal ball guy.
Yeah, there's rumblings that he might return, but I don't expect him to return. It's a lost season for this team. CJ McCollum will come back at some point. Well, maybe he'll get to run the show, and I think he could definitely carry the team on his back. But Dennis Smith Jr., 4K, I expect him to play 30-plus minutes. He's the value play of the guard position on DK. I don't think there's anyone close to him.
Yep, legitimately nobody close. Ben McLemore, 4,200.
Mm-hmm. That's fine. I think that can definitely work out. Bane and Melton on the Memphis side of things. We'll see Anthony Melton over time have an upside game, but it'll happen on FanDuel where he can rock up the steals and blocks. Desmond Bane's been obviously in consideration for most improved player of the game, player of the year. He's been very, very good. Kind of goes under the radar because he's sharing a backcourt with John Morant. Honestly, this Memphis team is so much better off with Dylan Brooks. I hope they realize that going forward. But Dennis Smith Jr., you can definitely start there and move on.
I mean, DeJounte Murray's going to win most improved player. It's like not even remotely close. Dude's up to 62. He's a rebound away from a triple-double. He's out of his GD mind, man. I don't even know what else to say. But yeah, this
is the game going to go to overtime?
No. Rockets just went up 6. There's less than a minute left. Christian Wood just got another board here. Jayshawn Tate just knocked down some buckets here. Kevin Porter just knocked down a 3. It's a 9-point game. So literally, as you said, that Eric Gordon, another assist. Man, Eric Gordon had a pretty good game. I'm not going to lie. Sorry to the guy that I said don't play Eric Gordon, but I even got like a share of Eric Gordon, and that lineup's doing well. Welcome to DFS. That happens from time to time, but let's keep it moving here. I don't really have anything else on DK. We're going to talk about a little bit of everybody on this slate because, again, it's a 5-gamer. There are ways that you can get onto certain players. There's a lot of news that we're going to be waiting on, like randomly Jalen Noel, who's doubtful for Minnesota. I think that kind of shores up the situation. I mean, you're going to be playing Patrick Beverley. His minute allotment here, he only played 21 on his first game back in a week, but I expect that to ramp up. And so long as that's the case, he's going to be somebody to get to. Malik Beasley's 4,500. You can always spike some kind of an offensive upside, but the problem is he played 30 minutes. They lost by 3 to the Pellies. He went 6 for 8 from 3, and he only got 26 fantasy points. It's really hard for him to get any other counting stats to really make him super worth your while. He's got to get hot, and he's got to kind of come to fruition that way, which is a difficult ask when your name is Malik Beasley and you're just not that good at basketball. Let's jump over to the guard position on FanDuel. Steph Curry 10-4 there. Price is coming down a little bit on him. That's helpful. James Harden 10K. You kind of need Kyrie out. John Morant 9,700. Drew Holiday. This is going to be a piece of news that we're waiting for. He's doubtful, so I don't think he's playing. I'm assuming we're going to be going back to the Middleton well. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander 8K over on FanDuel looks really, really nice considering we know he's 8K on DK. And when they're the same price on FanDuel as they are on DK, we should really like them on FanDuel. D'Angelo Russell 7,600. But as you said, we're looking at Portland. This is the night hammer of all night hammers. And a 4,400 Dennis Smith Jr. and a 4,100 Ben McLemore are going to be infinity % owned. Welcome to the Thursday slate. Talk to me about them on FanDuel, Ryan.
Yeah, looking over there in FanDuel point guard, shooting guards, spending up for John Morant makes a lot of sense. 9,700. He'll be expensive, but there's SGA at 8K. I like that SGA price tag on FanDuel quite a bit here. It makes a lot of sense to go there. But I mean, my eyes immediately pivot down to looking at what Dennis Smith Jr. is. He's $4,400. I think you can definitely go there. Ben McLemore, $4,100. I have no issues playing both on a 5-game slate. No issues whatsoever. James Harden is 10K. If he's playing, he's fine. Look, he can definitely raw score, get you there on a 5-game slate. But keep in mind, back-to-back OKC team, they could definitely put up a number against OKC in a hurry. It'll be interesting to see if all three of those guys play and what the blowout might look like against Oklahoma City. Might be pretty scary. Reggie Jackson, 5,500, has been awfully disappointing of late. He's fine. The upside, there'll be a game where Reggie Jackson can get over 30, 35 fantasy points. It's been some time, but there's nothing that's too exciting. Everyone seems priced appropriately on FanDuel, but the value is just DSJ. And then I like going to Reggie Jackson as well. SGA stands out. Now, honestly, if you can find the value, which there is some, if there's no Drew Holiday, obviously Steph Curry doesn't have to worry about that, which is nice for him. 10-4 is expensive, but the upside is there for him. Not as excited for a 10-4 price tag. Seems like more of a balance build because I think spending it for a Giannis or a Jokic makes a lot more sense than to spend it for a Steph Curry.
Agreed on all fronts. You win the day. DeJounte Murray, man, up to 66 on DK. Still doesn't have that rebound for the triple-double. It's a 4-point game now, all kind of brought in by him here. Eric Pascal is just smashing out there. I can't even talk right now. I'm just so upset. Guard position. Over on Yahoo, James Harden, $49. Steph Curry, $42. John Morant, $40. A little bit more appropriate pricing there. Brandon Ingram, $35. Our sponsor, Yahoo, doing a really good job here with pricing, except for it was impossible to really kind of price the guys from Portland correctly. And therefore, $12 Ben McLemore, $12 Dennis Smith Jr. 95% owned? Over, under, go.
On Yahoo, I'll take the under.
I was being sarcastic.
Yeah.
Don't do that to me. But I'm going to play 100%. I'll tell you that right now.
I'll see you on those Yahoo streets. They're fun streets.
Calling me out is what you're doing. That's not very nice. I'm
not calling you out. I'm just saying that everyone should be playing on our sponsor, Yahoo. I mean, that's what I was trying to say.
It's a fact.
But I mean, yeah, those guys give you the luxury to spend up for a Curry or a Harden here. Harden is expensive at $49. I like Curry at $42 here. That makes a lot more sense because John Morant's $40. He's priced up to what John Morant's playing like over there on Yahoo. SGA is a pretty massive discount here at $3,400. Next batch of guys in the D'Angelo Russell range. D'Angelo Russell's kind of an island at $28, so he'll be kind of low owned. Brandon Ingram is kind of expensive here at $35, but obviously he's been showing that he can carry the team now after missing a couple weeks with that injury, and his New Orleans team is playing a little bit better. Kind of hopefully trying to convince Zion to not leave New Orleans, and hopefully that rehab goes well for him. But next batch of guys, D'Anthony Melton has the upside, but it's not better than McLemore and Dennis Smith Jr. Those guys are going to combine to play 75 minutes potentially in a matchup versus New Orleans. So those guys make a lot of sense to go there. Another guy, if you're looking for a $10 play, we're slowly but surely seeing DiVincenzo's minutes creep up. He's
Mhm.
playing into conditioning. It's only $10 if you're looking for a tenner, but you don't really need to on Yahoo with Dennis Smith Jr. and Ben McLemore present.
What do you do with an alto or a bass if you like a tenor?
Oh.
Sorry. Here we go. New Yahoo users get 1 free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum with your first time deposit of $10 or more. So deposit $10 or more, play in any of the paid contests, and boom, tough actin' to actin'. Shout out John Madden. But no, we're looking at getting a free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum. That is what I'm interested in giving all of you, and you should definitely take it from this offer. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy to do. You just deposit $10 or more in, bang, you're done. Simple as that. I believe John Morant also just got his triple-double, if I'm looking correctly. Nope, he just knocked down another 3 because he's a monster, but whatever. Deposit $10 or more, get that free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum where you get more than just NBA, but NFL, tons of NFL coming up this weekend. You all know it's playoff time. NHL, which is in full swing. PGA, literally full swing because they swing golf clubs. And then MMA, Top Fighters Tool, all of the great tools and content we have behind the paywall. Get it through this offer, but play at Yahoo where you have the lowest rake across the entire industry, the best contests, not just for your bankroll, but actually winning some serious money. So stop guessing, start winning. Join us here at Awesemo Plus, but do it through this great Yahoo offer. Thank you so much to them for their sponsorship of the NBA Slate Starter podcast. DeJounte Murray. Jesus Christ.
Is that game not over yet?
No, it's still going. He's just a monster. I just saw him in the corner of his eye. Also, I have an infinity amount of Evan Mobley, and he just got the double-double bonus, so that's a big plus. That makes me happy. Hopefully Donovan Mitchell can do something in the last couple of minutes here because he is terrible, as is Royce O'Neal. Once again, how is Utah 5-point favorites here? I will never understand that as long as I live. Whatever, this is not a sports betting show. This is a DFS show, but, it is kind of sports betting. Here we go. Top end of forward. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 12-3. No Drew Holiday. Wouldn't matter. I mean, for me, I'm playing Giannis no matter what in any capacity. Kevin Durant, 11K. Wait for that news. If you have all 3 active, tough to get there, but of course, he's always got upside. Brendan Ingram, 8,900. But the guy I want to ask you about, Chris Middleton, that price tag has just crept up to 8,700. He went completely nuttos last game. He's now put up back-to-back 53.5 plus point fantasy point performances, 57.75. Are you still interested in Chris Middleton, who's seen his assist rate go up quite a bit the last 2 games in absence of Drew Holiday?
Yeah, I've been about 3 or 4 times above the field on him the last couple of games.
Well, you're pretty good at this, aren't you?
I've been lucky in the sense of those performances. I'll be going back to him yet again. I know it's Golden State matchup, but on a slate of 5 games, I don't have any issues going to Chris Middleton. It's a pivot off Brandon Ingram. It's a spend up from Anthony Edwards. But if you're not rostering Giannis, I think going to Middleton or Bobby Portis make a lot of sense. It just the nature of offensive share of the basketball. So that's how I think you should approach that situation in Milwaukee and Golden State. It should be a fun game. I mean, it could be a finals preview. Kevin Durant going to Oklahoma City. It's about 5 years since that cupcake day over there in Oklahoma City. But I think 11K KD, if there is no Harden, you can definitely go there. KD seems pretty determined to just lay everything on the court, pretty much verbatim what he said after that Portland loss. So he has no issues playing all those minutes for Brooklyn, which is kind of interesting, especially coming off from pretty big Achilles injury a couple years ago. Now, it's there's enough value to spend up, so I have no issues jamming in Giannis, and we know 12-3 Giannis in a 5-game slate. He doesn't need to super smash; he can just smash. So it makes a lot of sense there. Jaren Jackson Jr. Has been pretty impressive of late. I think going to him in a Minnesota matchup makes quite a bit of sense. Josh Hart, 6,800, has just been playing really good. Well, basketball improved overall game. It's just not fantasy wise. It's overall improvement as a basketball player. And the minutes are there for him. I really like going to him as well. Marcus Morris on that other side of this game. I like him to bounce back. He was disappointing the other game, but I think he's definitely going to bounce back. I like going to Marcus Morris and Nasir Little. He's definitely going to be. It's going to be like a 1A, 1B, 1C show in terms of offensive share there. in Portland. I know I didn't mention Nurkic. He's just his own thing in a matchup versus Jokic where there is some history there. But I'll definitely be going to Nasir Little, even at that elevated $5,600 price tag.
Just got third foul for Day'Ron Sharpe. Sad stuff, Ryan. Sad stuff in the NBA DFS streets, I will say.
How's he doing?
Evan Mobley is just smashing at 6%. That makes me happy. Lamar Stevens is up to 21-7 because, of course, he is. No, wow. Day'Ron Sharpe was doing well.
Got a triple-double.
Yes, he did, as did last play of the game rebound for DeJounte Murray, 73.5 fantasy points. Welcome to your most improved trophy for sure, sir. Darius Baisley, you can take that shot, 4,300. I don't know what the value complexion is going to look like, but he just got done playing 30 minutes there for OKC. I think I don't know if he's a young part of this core going forward, or if he's going to be trade bait. There's a lot that's really hard to know what an NBA GM is going to do. All I know is that they have a ton of draft picks sitting there, and I've brought this up a number of times to my group chat with a bunch of buddies, but Darius Baisley, I think, is a lot better than people give him credit for. A really good defender. I think he could help a contender big time. I'm not sure if OKC is just tied to him. It's not like he's going to be a franchise-changing player, but he's somebody that in 24 minutes, 26 minutes can change the complexion of your playoff team in the event that you want to go get him. I bet you have to give up a draft pick. That seems to be the going rate of playing with OKC. It's just Sam Presti, man. The dude will not stop acquiring draft picks, no doubt about it. But 4,300, he's intriguing so long as you see those minutes where they're at here right now. I know that that's somebody that Adam Scherer, shout out, Ship My Money DFS on the Deeper Dive, brings up quite frequently. But for years, I thought this guy was pretty good, and hopefully he can continue to show it. Kyle Anderson, 5,100, that seems like an overpay, but he's been starting here. OKC, they ended up bringing in Brandon Clark. He played more minutes. It was nice to be right about him. But 5,200, I don't know if we're going to have to go there here on this slate. We shall see what happens with Steven Adams. That is going to be a big piece of news for me. As you said before, Jaren Jackson Jr. really enjoying his time at the 5 right now. Let's jump over to FanDuel. Top end there, Giannis, 11-3, Kevin Durant, 10-9. Chris Middleton, 8,400. That's going to be very, 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 very popular tomorrow, as will Anthony Edwards. 8,300, Brandon Ingram, 8,100 is going to be very, 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 very popular, as will Josh Hart, 6,900. 6,500, Marcus Morris. Man, FanDuel, great job, good effort. GJGE, as the kids would say. Talk to me about forward on FanDuel, Ryan.
Forward on FanDuel. So spending up, obviously, there's enough value with the Portland guys to spend up for KD or Giannis. No issues doing that. Brandon Ingram is amazingly priced at 8,100, small forward only. So that's going to be pretty popular play on the site, I think. Guys like Middleton and Edwards will be excellent pivots off that ownership, and you can definitely roster them both. No constraints doing so. 5,300 Nas Little is pretty solid mid-tier value. Outside of that, I mean, I don't have really much interest in anyone else. I know Robert Covington is now priced up at 5,600, but damn, no one really sub 4K at the small forward spot. Looking at power forward, as I pull this up, yeah, I mean, no one. Damn.
No one. It gets brutal real quick. I'm going through some.
I know. I will not be playing Amir Coffey at that price. He had a career game. I'll be stepping away.
How about Juan Toscano Anderson after playing 7 minutes in a starting rotation? That was a joke.
I only play him on 2-game slates or 1-game slates.
Yeah, I will not play Juan Toscano Anderson in a million years. Day'Ron Sharpe, 4,500. He's in 3 foul trouble here right now. He played 24 minutes against Portland. I assume that's where he would have been on pace for today. He's only played 8 minutes because he can't keep his hands to himself. It's very frustrating. I don't like it. Whatever. We're going to keep going. That's kind of it for me from the forward spot on FanDuel. It's really, really gross. Top end of forward on Yahoo. Giannis, 56. Kevin Durant, 52. Same usual suspects here on the top end. Let's drop down a little bit further. You have this fun decision between Giddey or Hart at $27 each for them. That's kind of a fun talking point. But Nasir Little, $18, going to be super popular. I'm less intrigued by a $20 Robert Covington, considering, what is he going to do for $20? Not a whole heck of a lot. But Day'Ron Sharpe, $11. Once again, going to be somebody that you can roster. Darius Baisley, $13. And then Terrence Mann, who's been playing some atrocious basketball. I'm expecting some positive regression eventually. They're $14. He's better than this, right?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, Terrence
Otherwise,
Mann.
you're in trouble, Clippers.
Yeah, this forward position here kind of sucks as well. I mean, if the Brooklyn guys rest some people, I mean, DeAndre Bembry might open up, but outside of that, Jeff Green balled out the other night in the Portland matchup. $10. I don't have it. If you want to roster him, go for it. Another guy who's been playing well. Not well in the sense if he gets extended run, maybe Otto Porter, but no Draymond Green. So $14 Otto Porter is not too bad. But yeah, the class of positions this year a little $18. Makes a lot of sense to go there. No issues whatsoever. Jaren Jackson Jr. 31, also pretty solid. There's enough value to get in Giannis or KD. So it's going to be a spend up spot. No real strong interest below Terrence Mann for me. I think Aaron Gordon deserves a shout out if there's continues to be no Will Barton, but I think Will Barton will return tomorrow.
Aaron Gordon's going to be the YouTube chat. He just went off last game, guy, at 5,800. A little different than the 4,900 you were paying for him last time out, but it was nice to see that he can offensively get there again and against the Clippers, where he didn't play that December 26th game I went to. He played this last night, and he was unbelievable there in Clipperland. Out here in LA, let's jump to center on DK. We're going to be nice and short and quick and sweet and all of that stuff here today. Nikola Jokic, 12.5 there on the top end. Karl Anthony Towns, 10K. Big discrepancy between the two, but Nikola Jokic going up against, I believe, Yusuf Nurkic and him. Didn't they come in the same class? They were both centers there in Denver. Denver said, hey, we're going to go with Jokic, and that seems like a pretty good idea, but Nurkic doesn't exactly suck over there. Talk to me about that situation. Two guys that are very familiar with each other, but how do you not like Jokic at 12.5?
They're very familiar with each other. There was a time they used to share the front court together in Denver back in 2016. There was a time where Nikola Jokic was in the mint, and he was 5K. And in the first game back, Nurkic versus Jokic, I want to say that was the year of 2017. I'm doing this off the top of my head. I think Nurkic puts up 60 fantasy points, just misses out on triple-double. It was a really impressive game from Nurkic once he was traded. I like going to Nurkic. Those two guys know each other really, really well. And it's going to be a fun matchup. And it's just going to be Nurkic versus Jokic all game long. And DK and Yao, you can roster them both. But we're talking about tomorrow's center slate on DK. I know Jokic was disappointing, but we definitely need to consider going right back to him. And that's what I consider the Jokic well, a much better well than your well and Lance Stevenson. So
why am I getting attached to this dude? You know I actually hated him, and everybody at home knows that I hated him too.
You called him the Lance Stevenson well. Well, welcome to Nikola Jokic well. 12.5.
You are so unbelievable today.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
This is my fifth show. Don't push me, okay? Go ahead.
But other guys outside that, I mean, Karl Anthony Towns, the ball should go through Cat, and hopefully.
Oh, no kidding.
Hopefully they realize that. I expect Steven Adams to return tomorrow, so that will muddy up potential Brandon Clark love and other guys there. But outside of that, I mean, if you want to spend down to Ivica Zubac in a Valanciunas matchup, once Ivica was so disappointing the other game, so many fouls, really was disappointing. I was not too happy by that performance by him. Outside of that, man, it kind of sucks to spend down here. You're going to miss out on some awesome spend-up options. The opportunity cost is very high, I think.
DeMarcus Cousins played 0 minutes. Don't do that. The one guy I was going to bring up that I thought was kind of fascinating, Bobby Portis, Jekyll and Hyde. This dude has been really, really annoying. On DK, it's an overpay to 6,900 comparatively, but there's no Drew Holiday. Anytime you get one of their core four guys out, I'd put Bobby Portis in the core four territory. I mean, the fact that he didn't even get a double-double, he had 11 rebounds, but only 5 points there, I think people might shy away. Bobby Portis in tournaments, it would be nice to get him low-owned over there. 6,900, do you think he will be?
I think he will be lower-owned than what he has been of late, but yeah, I like going back to Bobby Portis. He just didn't play well against Charlotte. He played really well against Charlotte 2 games ago, so the game plan might have shifted just a tad, but 6,900 is fine. it's not the greatest price
Right.
for Bobby Portis.
Well, I mean, everybody's going to jam him at 6,200 on FanDuel again. So if you want to just your exposure there, just get your exposure there.
Yeah, on FanDuel where he's MPE, where you can roster 2 power forwards and a center. Yeah, so it's going to make a lot of sense to do that.
But just saying, if he's going to be like sub 10% on DK, that would be really fun to see when we wake up tomorrow. And I expect Jokic and Kat both at their numbers to still be popular. Valanciunas won't be unowned, and Nurkic will be the chalk of the position. So I'm with you where I think that we could be looking at finding some low-owned guys in the likes of Day'Ron Sharpe there at 3,300 as well. He's center only there. You've got Zubats, who, I'm obviously connected to for life at 4,400, so we're fine getting to some other options there. But I think Bobby Portis, under 10% or 15%, I'd fire a little bit on DK still. Nikola Jokic on FanDuel, though, 11.5, Cat 9,800. Jonas Valanciunas, though, 7,700. That is your chalk there, along with Yusuf Nurkic, 7,500. Those both look really, really good. Steven Adams is 5,300. And if you assume him to go out and, play 30 minutes here, which, you never know for people coming off COVID, how many minutes they're going to play right out of the gate. But up against Cat, that's something where he could be on the floor there. Feels like a pretty thin play, though. Looks like on FanDuel, we're just going to be paying up for those same studs. What are you thinking over there?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to spend up for those same studs. There's enough value in the Portland backcourt to do so. I don't mind going to a Nurkic at 7,500. Valanciunas is, I think, better at $200 more, but Nurkic is just going to take so many shots with the depleted Portland team. Bobby Portis, again, 6,200, like you said, yeah, it makes a lot of sense to do that. I don't have a ton of interest to spend any lower than Bobby Portis, frankly, on the center spot. I can't do that. No, yeah, it's everyone up Bobby Portis and up make a lot of sense, but no one really below him. If people rest tomorrow for Brooklyn, maybe Blake Griffin. I don't know how many minutes Blake Griffin is even playing today, but I thought he might touch the floor at least. But
he's on the floor.
He's on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, you had Sharpe get in foul trouble, so he's got 4 and 3. I saw at the beginning of that game. Again, just paying attention to everything closely. He's got 11 minutes, so he's definitely somebody at the complete floor at 3,500 power forward center eligibility on FanDuel you can get to.
I liked him as a, late slate option today. I thought he was going to be pretty low on. I don't know what the ownership looked like for Blake, but Blake.
Nothing. Literally nothing.
What? I missed out on this. Damn. All right.
Well, I mean, you had Sharpe get in foul trouble too, which definitely helps.
Yeah. I just I thought Blake Griffin could play 20 minutes at least today. So, damn, I'm annoyed. I missed registering for the showdown and late slate lineups.
Yeah, pretty fascinating. Again, nothing's really changing that much. You still have Jokic, you still have Cat. The one thing that changes the most for me is Jonas Valanciunas, 7,700 on FanDuel. That is going to be something I get to quite a bit compared to over on DK. Let's round this out with Yahoo, our sponsor, Yahoo. Thank you so much to them once again of sponsoring the NBA Slate Starter podcast. Jokic, $56. Karl Anthony Towns, $41. Big gap, but there should be. Yusuf Nurkic, $32. That's the chalk, along with Jonas Valanciunas at the same number. Maybe going to a little bit more J-Val there, but both of them are going to project out really nicely. $25 to Bobby Portis. Yet another spot I want to kind of take some shots there. And then if you go all the way down there to the bottom, you get into the likes of $10 Blake Griffin, who you brought up there in the event that, you could play some more. That's really about it because it is gross down here on center. I'm being as he's spending up and moving on with my day. How about you?
Yes, spend up. I mean, it just like we've touched on this, unless if something drastically changed with news, which certainly can happen. We see it time and time again. We saw it today. Multiple center guys opened up. There is no reason to really spend down here. I mean, absolutely none, unless you find some secret sauce in Jackson Hayes or Michael Green. There's no real reason to spend down all the way down there. Now, spending up, I mean, Nurkic 32, Valanciunas 32, Bobby Portis 25. Jeez. Yeah. It's going to be a fun center slate to mix and match. I mean, there's enough value to get these guys in. I mean, having 2 solid backcourt guys in Portland make a lot of sense to spend up here.
Man, Buddy Hield. Last time I ever rostered this guy, I have a share, and he's not treating me well. My one good lineup. Of course, it's Buddy Hield to end this NBA Slate Starter podcast. There's no doubt that was
Eric sounds like chat there because it's only halftime, and Buddy Hield can knock down 5 threes in the second half.
Buddy Hield has what? 5.6 on FanDuel. Yeah, I'm not feeling great about it. Ryan, okay? Any final words for the people, my friend?
No, honestly, good luck, everyone. Leave the 5-star review. 5 game slate tomorrow. And enjoy your Thursday.
I thought you were going to say something very philosophic there to round it out. He's Ryan. He's really good at this. I'm Eric. I'm really average at this. We'll see you guys later.